It is 2:46. Your room is quiet. Your phone screen is dark, but your mind is bright, not in a good way. It is bright like a lamp inside a closed box. It lights up the same memory again and again. One sentence is stuck in you. One day they will understand. One day they will say sorry. This video will do one thing for you. It will show you why waiting for an apology is not justice, but a cage. Now do this. Like the video. Not to feel better. To feed your will to be free. And write one word in the comments, lock. Because your problem is not their 2 words. Your problem is the lock inside you. You know the scene. You can play it like a movie. Someone talked to you in a way they should not. Someone used you. Someone blamed you. Someone left you in silence. You stayed calm outside. You stayed quiet. You acted fine. Then they walked away like nothing happened. And since that day, you keep waiting for a line that will fix the whole story. I was wrong. I hurt you. I'm sorry. You think that line will bring peace. But what it really brings is something else, power. Not power in your hands. Power in their mouth. Here's the cold part. Some stories do not end. Not because you are weak. Because the person who should end it does not want to. They like the open ending. They like the confusion. They like the silence. And while they live their life, you keep editing the same scene in your head. You are not waiting for words. You are waiting for control. Part 1. You don't want an apology. You want balance. An apology is not always kindness. Many times, it is a stamp that says, we are equal again. The debt is paid. The case is closed. Inside you, there is a simple deal. If they admit it, I win. If they say sorry, I stand higher again. You call it justice. But look closer. It is a power game. Here is the problem. You rent your peace to their conscience. You say, my peace depends on your words. A conscience is not a bank. It does not pay on time. Some people never pay. Some people don't even know they owe you anything. So you go back again and again. You check the door. You check the message box. You check your memory. Did it happen today? Did they finally understand? No. And every no becomes a small cut. You keep using a broken scale. You step on it every morning, hoping it will show a different number. It never does. Then you blame your body. But the scale is broken. Not you. The waiting man loses 3 things. Time, not hours, attention, energy, life. Your mind is a worker. It works where you send it. You keep sending it to the past. So the past becomes stronger than your present. Identity. You stop being a man who builds. You become a man who was hurt. And that role feels serious, deep, important. But it is still a role. A role that keeps you frozen. Control. You give the start button of your healing to someone else. You say, I will move only when you speak. That is not love. That is not dignity. That is dependence. Your anger is not only about what happened. Your real pain is this. The file is still open. And you hate open files because open files mean you cannot relax. Part 2. You don't want closure. You want a witness. You want someone to say, yes, I saw it. You are not crazy. You are not weak. It happened. Pain becomes heavier when you carry it alone. So you want the person who hurt you to become your witness. But this is a trap. The person who hurt you is often the last person who will tell the truth. They protect their image. They protect their ego. They protect their power. Your experience does not need their approval to be real. It is real already. It is like having security camera footage. You can see the thief. You can see the time. You can see the action. But you still stand there waiting for the thief to confess. Why? Because confession gives you a sweet feeling. Now everyone knows I was right. This is not about reality. It is about your ego wanting a clean ending. An open file gives your ego a drug. Hope of a win. It says, one day you will stand above them. So you keep the file open. You keep it alive like a flame in your hand. And yes, it gives light. But it also burns you. Part 3. Their silence is not their weapon. It is food for your mind. Silence is a blank screen. Your mind hates blank screens. So it writes. And it writes hard, dark stories. They planned it. They never respected me. I am nothing to them. I don't deserve better. Some of these lines can be true. But truth is not the main issue. The main issue is this. You are building a prison with questions that have no answers. Your mind asks, why? 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 And the world answers with silence. So your mind creates answers. And these answers are usually poison. Silence is bait on a hook. You bite it every night. Then you pull the hook deeper. You call it thinking. But it is chewing the same pain again and again. They sleep. You replay. They forget. You write long stories in your head. They move on. You stay in the same room with the same scene. Then you ask, why doesn't it go away? Because every night you feed it. Silence works like a bank account with interest. Each night you add interest to the pain. The next day you wake up with a bigger number. Not because they did something new, but because you gave the old thing new energy. Part 4. This is not about them. This is about your need to control. Now listen carefully. This is the turn. This is not mainly about their personality. This is about your mind refusing uncertainty. You want order. You want a clear answer. You want the world to make sense. You want a stamp. I was right. Your mind says, if I don't get that stamp, I cannot relax. So you chase it. But outside approval is a weak drug. It works for 1 minute. Then you need more. Because your brain learns a rule. I can calm down only if they speak. That rule is not strength. That rule is a leash. So when they don't apologize, you don't just feel sad. You feel powerless. You feel like you are floating with no ground. You feel like the world is unfair and you cannot fix it. You gave them the remote control. They choose the channel in your head. They press pause, play, repeat. And you sit there angry at the screen, but the remote is not in your hand. That is why you cannot rest. Because you are not driving your own mind. You are sitting in the passenger seat of your own life. Part 5. The painful truth. Some people never say sorry. Say it clearly. Some people do not apologize. Some people don't apologize because they truly think they did nothing wrong. Some don't apologize because they see sorry as weakness. Some don't apologize because they don't care about your pain. Some don't apologize because control is their favorite game and silence is their favorite tool. And you keep giving them a job. Be my judge. Be my witness. Be my closure. You keep asking a cold person to be warm. You stand in front of a locked door and you wait for it to open by itself. It will not. The door is not automatic. The owner will not give you the key. And the longer you stand there, the more you believe this door is your destiny. But it is just a door. You made it a temple. So there are only two paths. You grow old in front of that door. Or you turn and walk away. Walking away does not mean you say, it was fine. Walking away means you stop giving them your life. Part 6. Saying sorry to yourself is not softness. It is authority. Many people misunderstand this. They think self-forgiveness is weak. They think it is being nice. Double quotes. No. Saying sorry to yourself is not a hug. It is a decision. It is you taking the judge seat back because inside you there is a courtroom. And for years, the judge chair has been empty. When the judge chair is empty, someone else writes the verdict. Old memories write it. Old shame writes it. The silence writes it. Your mind is a city. If you don't lead it, it gets taken over. Not by strangers, by noise. So you bring authority back with 3 sentences. Not long, not emotional, clear. First, I did not ignore what happened. You do not act like it was nothing. You do not gaslight yourself. You name it. This was wrong. This hurt. Second, I will not wait for their conscience. You stop begging for a person to become someone they are not. You stop asking a stone to bleed. Third, I will not destroy my body and mind in old scenes. You stop paying with sleep. You stop paying with focus. You stop paying with peace. This is not about forgiving them. Forgiving is another door. This is about something more basic. Taking back permission. Permission is the invisible paper you gave them. You can decide when I feel complete. You tear that paper. You burn it. You don't tell them. You don't explain. You don't negotiate. You just stop. Part 7. New identity. Not the one who waits, but the one who chooses. Now we talk about identity. Because information is cheap. Identity is everything. The old you is simple. You wait. You watch. You check. You keep the file open. You keep your heart tied to their mouth. The new you is also simple. You choose. You close. You move. You stop asking for a final line. You write your own final line. You are in a train station. You stand on the platform with your bag. You look at the empty tracks. The train does not come. And after years, you start calling the station your home. But the station is not home. It is a place for passing through. New you leaves the station. This is what power looks like in real life. Not shouting, not proving, not winning arguments in your head. Power is the moment you stop needing their words to breathe. You want to be right. But being right is not freedom. Freedom is when you can say, they may never apologize, and I still move. Here are your real questions. Not soft questions. Real questions. Which apology is holding your life in the air for years? Which person's silence is sitting on your chest at night? Which open file do you keep touching like a wound, just to feel something you think you want? But what you really want is control over your own mind. Because the worst prison is not what they did. The worst prison is how you keep returning to it. So here is the final command. No begging. No if you want. Command. Like the video. Write lock in the comments. And then do this. Close the door. Take the remote. Leave the station. Walk. Not tomorrow. Not when they finally speak. Now.